Rest, of course, is important because society is becoming more and more stressed. We keep on hearing about people who are stressed, they're burnt out. And so the need for rest, the need for space becomes even more important. We're driven by money, we're driven by having to produce things. Even those who are in academia are driven by having to produce papers, having to be successful. What we need to do is to stop and to stand back and to reflect on who we are. And I believe as Christians, the important thing is to reflect who we are in God's love and God's value and God's purpose, because that's what the cross tells us. The cross tells us God's love, tells us the value that God places on each human life, and tells us that we each have a purpose. I think that work will then be different because we will each recognize that God has a place for us. God has a purpose for us, that we are not insignificant. We're not cogs in a great big machine, but we are co-creators in a beautiful creation. We have opportunities, but we will only have those opportunities if we can step back and reflect and recognize who we are in God's world. If we can help people to understand and to really believe that when you look at the cross of Christ, you see that God has love. Well, yes, we all know about the love of the cross, but also it tells us the value that Christ has died for each person to be in a relationship with God and to understand God's word. And so they have a value. And that because they have a value and because they're loved, we believe that God has a purpose for each person. So if you're in the top of a tower block and you're working behind a computer screen, to know that you are valued, you have a value that is beyond this place where you're working, I think it's important.